Hey, what's going on, guys? So recently I've been going back and I've been rewatching the Tournament of Power, and I've been looking over the different fights and just kind of comparing what we actually got to what I thought was going to happen in the series, and looking at some of the foreshadowing and things that were kind of set up. And obviously there were a lot of things that a lot of us thought were going to happen, and in the manga version some of these things have come to pass, but for the most part I think the Tournament of Power, while it was good, there were a lot of missed opportunities for fights, and in particular, I think that we should have gotten Gohan versus Toppo. Now, I'm not talking about it from a comedy aspect, though if the anime wanted to do this, you could have Gohan taking notes over Toppo's poses, and given the fact that he has this great Saiyan personality and Toppo has the justice whole thing going on with the Pride Troopers, that would have been a really good chance for some character development with Gohan and Toppo due to the character interactions, maybe actually seeing Goku's son and seeing that he isn't quite like his father could be something that could have changed Toppo's perspective of son Goku, even to a smaller degree before we got to the end of the Tournament of Power. However, as stated in the title of this video, the true fight that we should have gotten was Gohan versus God of Destruction Toppo. Now, I know Gohan, even with his mystic form, Gohan would not be able to come anywhere close to the God of Destruction level of Toppo. In fact, Vegeta had to unlock his Super Saiyan Blue evolution and had to basically use the self-destruct ability in order to even eliminate Toppo from the ring, and that's all well, fine, and dandy. However, I'm just gonna say two things, okay? The first thing, while that was great character development on Vegeta's part, when you look at that, that was a moment that felt more like a Gohan moment, because since the beginning of the series, Gohan was the one who had the whole thing with his emotions. One of the things that was hammered home in the original Dragon Ball manga is the fact that Saiyans and humans, when they breed together and they have their hybrid kids, when they have their half-breed kids, those children, because of their emotions, are able to tap into a higher level of power, and it's the reason why Gohan at like age 4, 5, somewhere in that time span on Planet Namek, and in the manga he was a lot younger than the anime. The anime bumped up his age. The anime, I believe, had Gohan around 6 or 7 years old. That's not completely accurate. Just like in the Cell games, they had Gohan at being 12 years old. That's complete bullshit. That was not the case. However, that's another video for another day. What I'm getting at is the fact that Gohan, since we've seen him, since he cracked Raditz's chest all the way back at the beginning of the Z story and the Saiyan saga, has always been tied in with his emotions. When you look at the subplot that was building up, Gohan, when he sparred with Goku, said that he was going to unlock a power that would surpass what Goku had. There was a lot of build up towards it, and for the most part, we just saw Gohan spam his mystic transformation, which was confirmed to be a transformation when he was training with Piccolo. And the other thing you have to look at is the fact that they gave Gohan to Dispo, and that's something I would have been happy if it was just Frieza who took out Dispo, because seeing Frieza torment one of the Pride Troopers, it just would have been super awesome to see, for Frieza to get his own fight with no type of help. However, I understand having Gohan and Frieza team up was a really good idea, but when you look at Gohan, one thing that we should have gotten from a payoff perspective is we should have got Gohan staring into the eyes of a God of Destruction. This would have tied us all the way back to Battle of Gods, when Gohan, one of the strongest fighters on the planet at the time, tried to challenge Beerus, and of course Beerus takes him out in a couple of hits. But it's worth noting, Gohan didn't go out like a straight bitch during that fight, and he's gotten a lot stronger. And since that first encounter, Beerus has even acknowledged Gohan by name. He's taken interest in him. When you go back to that baseball game between Universe 6 and 7, even Champa looked at him and said, hey, you're a pretty tough guy, aren't you? So when you look at all of that, if you would have had Gohan reflecting, thinking about Videl, thinking about Pan, his one-year-old daughter at that point, and having Gohan get triggered, and maybe you could give Gohan that transformation, not Super Saiyan Blue evolution, but give Gohan something unique to himself outside of the mystic form, because looking at it how it is now, that's a drop subplot. We should have gotten something more built onto that. So if you would have had Gohan in his feelings and eliminate Toppo at that point, then that could have been something that would have went over better with fans. I'm a Vegeta fanboy. I love seeing Vegeta Think back to Planet Sadal, think back to Kaba and how he was going to keep his promise. That was completely cool. Seeing the Super Saiyan Blue evolution, that was really amazing. And yet at the same time, if I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is gonna trigger some people, but if I'm gonna be honest, seeing Vegeta get that power up like that after fighting for so long, and after Vegeta saying I'm gonna find another way to get Ultra Instinct, that was some little half-ass foreshadowing at that point. Seeing how that was executed reminded me of some Fairy Tail bullshit. And I love Fairy Tail, don't get me wrong, I love Fairy Tail, but one of the things on there is it has that shonen trope of the friendship power-up, and a lot of shonens use it, but that's a playbook straight out of Fairy Tail's book. I didn't like that. Now, Gohan doing it will be completely different because that's in character. Now, I understand from a craft perspective why Toei Animation did that with Vegeta, because it's showing the continued progression of his character. He went from someone completely bloodthirsty and seeking out vengeance, seeking out revenge on Goku, and using him as a rival, to all of a sudden, like in episode 2 of Dragon Ball Super, he's taking his family out to the theme park and he's fighting for someone other than himself. And so he's actually getting closer to Goku in that respect. So I understand that. I think it was a good craft decision, but I think the better payoff would have been for Gohan to take down Toppo, the God of Destruction candidate from Universe 11, because it would have tied us all the way back to father and son, about how the father first challenged him, and just like with Cell, Gohan was the one who took down Toppo, the person that Goku couldn't defeat when they fought the first time. But those are just my thoughts on this matter, guys. What are your thoughts? Were you okay with the ending that we got? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have an awesome day.